I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Skywalker saga, by far the most favorite trilogy is the original trilogy of the Star Wars universe by George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, there's a reason as to why a lot of fans out there love the character of Anakin Skywalker. It's because of how conflicted of a character he really is, how much he really goes through from point A to point B of his life, and exactly how he ultimately became Darth Vader, and how, of course, he gave, the opportunity for the Skywalkers to actually be a thing in the Star Wars galaxy. That's the main thing, is that Anakin really started the Skywalkers. Besides Shmi, it was really all about Anakin, and Padme creating both Luke and Leia, and hence how that leads on to other Skywalkers. And that's what I always loved about Anakin Skywalker so much, is because of exactly what he really goes through, not only as a child, but also as an adult, and also as a mature individual. Now, when we examine the relationship between both Anakin and Leia as father and daughter, it's very scarce. There's really not all that much in, of course, canon, or even in Star Wars Legends. But what's very intriguing is about, of course, exactly, what was scrapped between both Lucasfilm and George Lucas, and what they originally had planned for some of the Star Wars projects out there between both Anakin and Leia, and the secrets that lie in between these two specific characters and others alike. Now, what's really intriguing is that back in the 1990s, when Lucasfilm was developing a library's worth of Star Wars stories, is that they were looking for ways to create a link, or connection, if you will, between both Anakin and Leia in their expanded universe, that was going to show a different side to how Leia saw Anakin Skywalker and vice versa, in one of the abandoned projects by Lucasfilm back in the late 1990s, where one of the original plans by Lucasfilm was to explore Anakin revealing a major revelation to Leia during her first time on Endor. Now, it's noted that at one point before the project was cancelled, that was in the form of a novel, it actually went over the concept of Anakin's Force Ghost, revealing himself to Leia and telling her a secret about the Force, and that Leia wanted to learn more about her grandmother, Shmi Skywalker. Before George came up with the idea for Anakin's mother Shmi being killed by the Sand People, Anakin's Force Ghost would offer Leia the truth about her grandmother and how she died. Now, since Leia was begging her father Anakin to give her the truth about Shmi, who at the time was an unnamed character for this project, Anakin would then reveal to Leia that it was Palpatine all along, who not only killed his own mother in cold blood, and that Anakin would reveal that Palpatine had killed Shmi on Tatooine, and that he learned this story after death. This was a story before the prequels and some other storylines were finalized for the Star Wars universe, where Leia would also learn of these stories through Anakin, and that Anakin would even tell his daughter Leia about Padme Amidala, and how she also knew that Leia would be a powerful Force user. Because of Anakin revealing this to his daughter Leia, Leia would then go on to call her third child, Anakin Solo, in the late 1990s. Now, though this project was cancelled, many of it was inspired from more EU material in the early 2000s. Now, the thing that's so inspiring about this, that really makes it a very surreal experience, is because, well, there's a very scarce material on the relationship between both Anakin and Leia, like I say, as father and daughter. A lot of fans would have loved to see more of that, and we are going to get more of that, thankfully, by Disney in their new Star Wars universe. What they're going to do in their new Star Wars universe throughout the 2020s is that they're going to explore aspects in between the Skywalker saga movies, and they're going to actually fill in the gaps in order to tell new stories and to explore brand new eras. Now, let's go over the original death of course, Shmi Skywalker, and how Anakin reveals to Leia that it was ultimately Palpatine who killed Shmi Skywalker in the original story. Now, this was, of course, before The Phantom Menace was ever even made, and before The Phantom Menace was even a thing, so give or take, this was going to be an idea around 1996, maybe 1997 at most, right? So, when you look at what they've been trying to do, right, with Star Wars, you can see that George was going to approve so many unique and original ideas that would have really been a little bit more dramatic than what we got in the prequels. Now, mind you, Shmi's death is still very dramatic, but the secret of Palpatine actually killing Shmi Skywalker because she already served her purpose of giving birth to Anakin would have been so much darker. It would have been just very much, I guess you could say, evil for Palpatine to do such a thing. And after all, there's still a lot of talk that Palpatine was the one who killed Padme Amidala in Revenge of the Sith and stuff around those lines. With the nightmares and stuff around that, that sense that Anakin Skywalker had. So, when we look at the relationship between Anakin and Leia as father and daughter, if you look at the actual Legends material, we do know that Leia always despised her father Anakin. She never wanted to actually talk to him as a Force ghost. And a lot of these ideas actually did in fact carry over into Legends, of how Leia calls her third child Anakin Solo. That's literally a thing. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.